Let's talk a bit about isopathy. I-S-O-P-A-T-H-Y. Iso means the same as or identical. Homeo means similar to, not identical but similar to. So it's a bit different. They're kind of like cousins. And anyway, isopathy is when you use the exact identical substance in order to remove it or remove its effects. And most homeopaths don't do isopathy, but there are exceptions. And in this case, I want to read to you a case that occurred some years ago and it was reported in an old homeopathic journal no longer in print. And here it is. An orchardist, meaning a man who worked in an orchard, this was in England, and it was in 1932, came in to see this homeopath. And he was in extreme straits, and the homeopath thought he was about to die. In fact, the first words out of the patient's mouth were, "Doc, I'm dying." He was cyanotic, sweating profusely, and his pulse was too rapid to count. So he'd been an apple grower for decades, and he'd been exposed constantly to arsenic, which was used as an insecticide in those days. So knowing this, the homeopath decided to give a very high potency of arsenic album, arsenicum album. And he said within an hour his pulse began to slow down, but he still perspired freely. An hour later, I was startled to hear him call me. Arriving quickly at his side, he pointed to a white powder that was appearing where the perspiration was drying in the folds of his blue shirt. As he brushed it off, he smelled it and then tasted. "Doc, this is white arsenic," he said. "There's enough here to kill 3 men." So it seems that this one dose of homeopathic arsenicum album changed the polarity in the cells in such a way that the cells gave up the arsenic and it was excreted onto his skin through his sweat and onto the clothes. And as a footnote, the doctor said he lived the next 41 years of his life free of any further episodes of arsenic toxicity. So this is an extremely dramatic example of how the same substance can remove that substance. And this is called isopathy. Thank you.